Death and dying are not comfortable topics for discussion. They raise uneasy questions and anxieties, reminding us of our own frailty and vulnerability, and opening up fears about the impending loss of our loved ones. I have found writing this book emotionally challenging and at times disturbing, but I am absolutely convinced that these are vital topics that we cannot avoid, but must face head-on. Just as we can't escape being confronted with death and dying in our personal lives, so also in the public arena, these topics have taken on a strategic importance. Scarcely a week goes by without another high-profile media story, highlighting the inadequacies of end-of-life care in our health services, or the tragic story of an individual who committed suicide to escape the suffering and indignity of a terminal illness. Some of those real-life stories feature in the subsequent chapters. Sophisticated campaigning organizations across the world are using these personal tragedies as the driving force to change the law to allow various forms of medical killing. Their efforts seem to have been highly effective in influencing public opinion in favor of legislation for medically assisted suicide. In the UK, assisted suicide has been the topic of repeated, high-profile debates in Parliament, and some have concluded that the pressure for a change in the law has become irresistible. Several prominent Christian leaders, including the previous Archbishop of Canterbury, Lord Carey, and South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu, have publicly stated that they have changed their minds. They are arguing that we have a specifically Christian duty to provide the option of a quick and painless suicide for those who request it at the end of life. So, what are the forces that are driving this demand for a change in the law? Is it about individual choice and control over our lives, what philosophers refer to as autonomy, or is it about the prevention of suffering? Should medical killing be restricted only to those with terminal illness, or to all who are facing hopeless and unbearable suffering? Is it possible to construct a law which has an internal logical consistency and is at the same time robust and safe in practice? Of course, these are much more than philosophical, political, or legal issues. We must never forget the personal tragedies and fears that lie behind the public debates. If we are followers of Christ, then it is our first responsibility to empathize, to try to comprehend and enter into the human suffering, fear, and desperation that many people face at the end of life. We should talk about these issues not with condemnation, judgment, and rhetoric in our voices, but with tears in our eyes. This is not an easy topic, and the public debate is often emotive, confused, and confusing. I have tried to make this book as up-to-date as possible, but the target is continually moving. And to my frustration as an author, fresh developments are occurring almost weekly.